You're like a lot of people out there, including me. You don't know a lot about reverse mortgages. Oh, you've heard about them. There's a lot of mystery surrounding them. Is it right for me? Are they going to take my house? So many questions. But today we're getting answers. We're going to talk about reverse mortgages with someone who knows exactly what they're talking about. So if you want to know more about reverse mortgages, stay tuned. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. So yeah, today we're talking about reverse mortgages, and I think this will be a lesson for everyone out there, including me, because I know there is a lot of mystery surrounding them. So my guest today is Mark Viggiani, and he is a senior real estate specialist with Keller Williams of Central Monmouth. And good morning, Mark.
Morning, Andrea. How we doing?
We're doing great, and I
Good.
appreciate you being with me today. And I think this is an area that, well, you are uniquely equipped to discuss.
No, that absolutely. Just first disclosure, I am not a mortgage professional. With the reverse mortgage, obviously, is a mortgage, but I do have the resources and the connections and the insight of when it might be applicable, and then go to the next step and see if it actually will work for the client.
So the first thing, Mark, is let's please define what is a reverse mortgage? That's the very first thing.
Reverse mortgage is simply taking, let's say you took a home equity loan. Um, a reverse mortgage is taking a percentage of equity out of your home, and it does accrue some interest, but um, you don't have to make any payments. So when it comes time for the home to be sold, um, the reverse mortgage would be paid off, and then the balance of the equity would go to the seller.
So, all right. So I have is the idea that I'm getting paid? I'm getting
Yes.
money okay. So how is that working? How am I getting paid as the homeowner?
Well, there's different ways it's structured. It could be a one lump sum. It could also be um, monthly payments, again, depending on the need and what it's being used for.
All right. All right. So is this like any mortgage where I would go to the bank and say, okay, I want a reverse mortgage?
Yes, you would go to a mortgage professional, financial professional. Banks have them. Private lenders have them that are, regulated. But you also want to make sure you do connect with a financial mortgage person that is well versed in the ins and outs of a reverse mortgage. Just like anything else, it's something that's a specialty, and you want to make sure you go to the right professional for the right um, the right situation.
Right. You're not going to see your accountant if you need a reverse mortgage. You're going to see a mortgage professional.
Correct. Your accountant might be one of the people who suggests pursuing a reverse mortgage. When it comes to finances and just about anything in life, we all have teams around us, and it's good for
Yes.
our own professionals to stay in the loop with what our situations are. So, an accountant is somebody that possibly would recommend see a need and say, "Well, this is an option. Let's investigate it."
All right. So Mark, who is a reverse mortgage? Who is best suited to have a reverse mortgage? Let's just say this is not someone who's a first-time home buyer. This is I own a home and now I'm thinking about doing, but what kind of homeowner is most apt to need or want a reverse mortgage?
Um, Well, once the funds are distributed, they can be used at the discretion of the homeowner. One very practical is a lot of people are into aging at home. And maybe the home 15 years ago was applicable to their lifestyle and physical attributes that they want to stay in the home, but some modifications need to be made. Whether it's a lift, um, different types of furniture that is accessible when, if there's an accessibility issue. So that's one
Adding
of
a
the
bathroom on the first floor,
bathroom on the
something
first
like
floor,
that. Yeah,
absolutely removing a tub and putting a shower base in.
right.
Uh, and the other aspect for aging at home too is you might want to put an addition or convert part of the house to almost like a multi-generational type living in case your your son or daughter or family need to be near you and are willing to live next to you to also help you age at home.
Makes sense.
So that's one of the practical ways of going about using the home equity loan. The other is you just want to have some fun, live a little bit, go on vacation, um, spend the money on your grandkids or your children. A lot of people are afraid about the reverse mortgage is like you said, they're going to lose their home. And that's all because of like anything else that's good. If it gets abused, it can really turn around and kick you in the backside. And reverse mortgages were one of those products that were abused. Um, like most mortgages were back in the early 80s and 2000s. So you could, instead of waiting for yourself to move on, either to downsize or, God forbid, when you do pass, but your family needs help. Somebody's going to college, and the family needs help with tuition. Your son or daughter needs help buying or selling a home, or buying a home, actually. You could take the reverse mortgage and you can gift that money to them so they can use what is going to be down the road part of their estate now instead of waiting.
Okay. Right. So who actually will, when you get a reverse mortgage, I mean, I have a mortgage on my house. Technically, the bank is the owner. So in a reverse mortgage, if let's say I'm a senior citizen, well, I am a senior citizen.
And welcome to the club.
But let's say I own my home outright and now I
Yep.
go with a reverse mortgage. Suddenly, again, the bank is the owner of the home. But every month, if I want to, I could be getting some money out of that. And that's how that would work.
That's how it would work. And technically, the bank would be the co-owner of the home
Okay, the co-owner. Okay.
because they're only going to allow you to pull so much equity
Oh,
out of the home. So
okay.
so that equity is going to, and that's what had happened in the past. And that's what had happened with mortgages. Things were way overappraised and more money was put out for mortgages, both regular and reverse mortgages, than the houses maintained value if they were even that valuable in the first place. So as the home devaluizes, uh, obviously the equity in the home shrinks also, whether you owe money or not. That portion of equity is going to get smaller if the value of the home does drop down.
So is it fair to say that a reverse mortgage is not unlike a home equity loan in that you're only getting a certain percentage of value of your home? You're
Correct.
not, okay. And then upon your passing, let's say, you were leaving your house to your heirs. So the mortgage is paid off, and then whatever the balance is
The
goes to your
proceeds.
heirs.
Yep.
Right. So it isn't like that misconception that I know many people have had, that, oh, you're giving up your home, you're going to lose your house, and you're not going to be able to have it in your will. Oh, I want my family to inherit my house. That's not true at all.
Correct.
I wonder what it was about reverse mortgages that created so much, well, I don't even know if confusion is the right word, but
Well,
obviously, but something was happening in the world of reverse mortgages that they definitely got a bad rap.
just to give a really rough scenario, um, say you have a home that's worth, well, you're going for a reverse mortgage, and The appraisal for the reverse mortgage has your home valued at 500,000. So they would give a percentage of that 500,000. So let's just say you got a reverse mortgage for 200,000, 300,000.
Okay.
Now, first of all, you do have the option and opportunity to make payments to it. You can pay the interest only. You can pay part of the principal, or again, you're not obligated to make any payments. Um, all of a sudden, that $500,000 house that you borrowed, let's just say 300,000, had 200,000 in equity, is now not worth 500,000. It's worth 400,000, maybe less.
Right.
So
Okay.
now the equity is not just only 100,000 less, or that's all that's left, but you have been accruing interest on your um, reverse mortgage. So that also is eating at the equity, and that's what had happened. People would try to sell. I was involved in a couple of estate sales where the unit was upside down on the reverse mortgage, and we were actually doing short sales on reverse mortgages. So that's where they got the bad rap, because, and again, that's what happened with the mortgage industry in general with real estate. They were way overappraising and loaning more money than they should have on the
So
property.
all the more reason, if you're listening to this and you're considering a reverse mortgage, I think it's just absolutely critical that you go to a reputable financial organization or speak to someone who this is what they do, so that you make sure you don't get the short end of the stick here.
Sure.
Because you're doing this because maybe you need some extra money and you want to preserve your asset, which is your home. So very important to stick with someone really, this is who really knows what they're doing, obviously.
You can actually use a reverse mortgage in making a home purchase. So I've worked with some
Hmm.
people that they needed to buy a new home. Instead of aging in that home, they needed to find a home to age in. Um, so, if we looked at the house and it didn't quite have what it needed, if it had the possibility for it, then the home equity loan would come into play with a new home purchase.
All right. Well, I think the most important thing is if we're just giving you like a little piece of info, but I would definitely say if you want to know more about reverse mortgages or anything in the real estate world, you should reach out to Mark. All of his contact info, is available for you in the description.
And I've partnered with several financial people for all different attributes, and I do have a relatively good resources for reverse mortgages.
Now that I understand them a little bit more from just our brief discussion, I definitely understand the value why somebody would do this. But like anything, this is your home. This is a big asset, and you want to make sure that you're talking to a professional like anything else.
Correct. Yep, absolutely.
I mean, you wouldn't call me to do your taxes, you'd call an accountant. So you want to, if you call me, I'll refer you to an accountant.
Right. And again, even it's got to be the right. It might be that profession, but it's got to be the specialist in that profession that understands what is needed.
And, is it right for you? Is it not right for you? And I guess that's something that you would really make that determination once you're speaking to someone who is a professional. You might
Sure.
think it's not right for you, but then when you speak to someone, you may realize, well, yeah, there is a benefit for me and for my family down the road.
Hmm.
And again, I think it's another way of being able to stay in your home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I can imagine, a senior might be living in a home these days that, maybe you lived in your home for 50 years. You have a lot of equity,
Sure.
but your times are tough and you need a way to maintain that home. So a reverse mortgage might do the trick for that.
Sure. Maintain the
Yeah.
home, keep up with the property
Yeah.
taxes. there's all different aspects of, we're all aging longer, and it's nice to be in your own home. And again, this is just an opportunity to see what's available.
Right, right. Okay. Well, again, if you want more information on reverse mortgages, I think it would be great to reach out to Mark. Again, all his contact info is in the description. So, Mark Viggiani from Keller Williams Central Monmouth, thank you for being my guest today.
Well, thanks for having me.
All right, and I appreciate you taking the time to explain about reverse mortgages to people, taking the mystery out. That's what we did today.
There you go.
So remember out there, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr, and we'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Mark.
All right, bye, Andrea. Have a great day.
Thank you.